Hey everyone, have you heard of this China thing? It's kind of impressive. For the last 30 years, China's economy has grown at an average rate of 10% per year. For the rest of the world, it's been about 3%. And until just recently, it's been the fastest growing economy in the world, and it's done so by establishing itself as a global hub for manufacturing, making it the largest exporter of goods in the world. Shenzhen is the mecca of all of this, with miles and miles of factory owned by Western companies without the greatest human rights records. Jack Ma founded Alibaba in 1999, which puts businesses in touch with these manufacturers, so it was easy to buy thousands of wholesale USB sticks for pennies or commission a truckload of customized toilet paper. 6 years ago, Alibaba branched out to make AliExpress, a site that lets the average Joe buy just one USB stick, rather than 50,000. And if you visit the site, you'll find thousands and thousands of vaguely recognizable products for just a fraction of the price that you're probably used to. Listen, I know what you're thinking. Why would anyone want to buy cheap, terrible Chinese electronics and wait 10 days for shipping? I don't want to endanger my life or the life of my expensive electronics just to save a few dollary dues. Well, in case you didn't know, everything you buy actually comes from China, but it comes via resellers who slap their logos on the side, put some custom colors on it, and drop a few thousand of them in an Amazon warehouse. All with a generous markup of between just 100 and 1,000%. There are some weird, wonderful, and very, very cheap things on AliExpress. I bought a few of them and been very pleased, so I just wanted to show them off. Essential, multifunctional, colourful, and definitely a meme, Mixer-Shark microSD cards are usually the first thing AliExpress newbies buy. I bought two 64GB cards at $20 each to use in my phone and my camera, and they work perfectly fine in both. You can look up the speed tables if you want, and a lot of people do, but I don't see much point in it. For both my uses, they're plenty fast enough. I don't need to check the read and write speeds. They go all the way down to 8GB and all the way up to 128GB, but 64 is the sweet spot in terms of price per gig. Now, just how much of a hipster are you? If you're as much as I am, your cables have got to stand out. Maybe you'd like some covered in leather, like these. I bought a ton of these cables to leave in my office, at my apartment, and other people's houses, because I never like being without one. After 6 months of use, none have broken yet, but sometimes the connection to the lightning cable doesn't work without jiggling it a bit. At $2 each though, that's amazing value. I like making coffee. I don't actually drink it that much because of all the caffeine, but I do like the whole process and the ritual of it. A V60 dripper is currently my favourite method, but I'm going to be honest. When I ordered this dripper, I thought it was going to be ceramic. I didn't know that it's actually made out of plastic. It works fine, but it doesn't have the weighty feel that I bought it for. And at $10, I don't think it's really worth it. Playing video games with total newbies can be a struggle with complicated controllers. I bought 2 of these imitation Super Nintendo controllers for about $150 each. I really like them. They were super easy to use and they work with all my emulators and games. They're not as heavy as real controllers, and the buttons somehow manage to be slightly floatier and stickier at the same time. But that doesn't matter, they work great, and equipping your monstrous gaming PC with party-friendly controllers for just $6 is well worth it. The prevailing wisdom is that you should not buy clothes from AliExpress. There are a bunch of hilarious BuzzFeed articles explaining just why. Well, I said fuck that and bought some clothing that'll cradle my penis and balls. I purchased a pack of 4 pants, which claim to be bamboo fibre, as I've heard good things about that material. Now, I'm not actually sure where the bamboo fibre comes in. I think that's a lie. This feels very synthetic, but I have found it incredibly comfortable. In terms of sizes, you're limited to XXL or XXXL, but as you can tell by this pair, that translates to roughly a Western medium and large. I'm not going to model them for you, as the stock pictures do that with fabulous style. However, I do recommend them highly. They're my favourite pants by far, and they cost me less than $3 each. AliExpress seems like a pretty good place to get cheap, generic clothes like this. I'll probably end up buying some socks or plain coloured t-shirts in the near future. There are some fringe communities which likes to discuss and swap hot AliExpress tips, but it's not particularly well organised anywhere. There's a ton of great cheap stuff on the website, and as long as you're patient enough to wait 10 to 20 days for shipping, you could live with far more material goods than you should ever be able to afford. I guess I'm hoping videos like this kick off more curiosity about the site. Have you had a look on it? Have you found anything online that you're curious about? When I have a few more dollars in my pocket, I want to try out a mechanical keyboard and an aroma diffuser. And if you have seen something, tell me about it in the comments, and I might end up buying it. You never know. Got some weird and different videos coming up after this one. going to some real life things, which will be a throwback to the glory days. So if you want to check them out, subscribe, because it's nice to see that number grow. But if not, you can check back in a few days and there will be radical new direction. See you next time.